Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and today Apple released iOS 26.4 Beta 1. This is somewhat surprising as I kind of thought Apple wouldn't drop this update because it's President's Day, though we still ended up getting the update. Now, as far as other updates that Apple released, we also got iPadOS 26.4 Beta 1, macOS 26.4 Beta 1, tvOS and HomePodOS, and visionOS 26.4 Beta 1. Now, taking a look at the file size of the update, it is 8.05 gigabytes. That is on my iPhone 12. However, I did not install this beta as it is an early stage beta. I will be installing it when it's beta 4 or the RC. Now, as far as what's new in iOS 26.4 beta 1, well, there's a good amount of things to talk about. So let's get right into it. Now, the first thing that is new in this update, if we go into settings, we scroll down, we go to apps, and if we go all the way in under messaging, within messages, if we scroll all the way down here, there is a new feature, and I don't know if this will show up on all iPhones. I don't know if all iPhones are supported, but we have an all new feature where we have end-to-end encryption with RCS messaging. So that is a new feature in iOS 26.4. So this is all new here in iOS 26.4. As far as what other new features, well, in Apple Music, you have an all new feature under Apple Music where you have Music Playground. I believe this is only for Apple Intelligence devices, but this is an all new feature here in iOS 26.4, and the music player gets redesigned. Where you have a play and shuffle, now you have a large play button with a shuffle glyph icon. Now, last year, Apple released the ambient music feature. If you guys remember that from iOS 18.4 with ambient music, there is now a new widget for ambient music as well. This is in iOS 26.4. The Freeform app gets a redesigned icon. Whether or not this will show up on all iPhones is hard to say. I believe it will. This is to coincide with the new Creator Studio that Apple released a couple weeks ago. So we have an all-new icon for Image Playground. Now, one thing that I don't know how much I like or not, I will just go ahead and say that I'm not really a fan of this feature, but that's probably because I don't know much about it. I found out that Apple is redesigning the wallpaper category section. So if we press and hold and we go all the way to the wallpapers here, usually you can just get any wallpaper you want. And this is even good for if you're offline. You can just browse through and set any wallpaper that you want. Well, now Apple has changed this. You now have a Get button next to every single wallpaper except the iOS 26 default wallpaper and the device theme wallpapers. Every other wallpaper has a Get icon next to it. I kind of don't really like this feature as I don't know if you'll be able to download wallpapers offline. Though if it is a way for Apple to save storage, well, then I guess I somewhat like the feature, but I would have to know a little bit more about the feature as I'm not running iOS 26.4 Beta 1. But as of right now, part of me doesn't like this feature and part of me does. As far as anything else with iOS 26.4, well, this is a relatively small update. I haven't really heard any mention of some new Siri voices that we are expected to get. I thought we would get some new Siri voices. I haven't really heard much about that so far.
The colors of the sky.
But I'm using the Quinn voice in iOS 26.4. But as far as anything else, well, since we now have iOS 26.4 beta 1, I would expect beta 2 the week of February 23rd. Again, because it is an early stage beta, I will not be installing that update. Then we get iOS 26.4 beta 3 the week of March 2nd. We are expected an event for the iPhone 17e, the new iPad 12th generation, and the new M4 iPad Air, and some other features. Then we also get iOS 26.4 developer beta 4. This is the one that I will be installing. We get that the week of March 5th. With an RC expected the week of March 16th. And a final release on iOS 26.4 the week of March 23rd. However, if beta 2 gets separated to March 2nd, beta 3 gets pushed to March 5th, beta 4 gets pushed to March 16th, I will still be installing it. The RC on March 23rd. We will expect the final release on iOS 26.4. So we will expect the final release of iOS 26.4 on March 30th. Last year, iOS 18.4 released on March 31st, 2025. So this year we could see it on March 30th. Last year we all thought it was April 1st, but it was March 31st. But unlike last year, I am a beta tester, a late stage beta tester, so I will be installing it at beta 4, which we probably will get on March 16th if beta 2 is pushed into March 2nd. However, if beta 2 comes out on February 23rd, then the RC on the 16th, beta 4 on March 5th, with the final release on March 23rd. Either way, I will install it and you guys will get to know what is new in iOS 26.4. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.